Okay, today I'm going to be going over language standardization. Here's an overview of what I'm covering. I'm going to cover what it is, how does it negatively affect people, and how does it positively affect people. And then I'm going to end it with a discussion which we'll go over in class on Thursday. Okay, so what is language standardization? Language standardization consists of the imposition of uniformity upon a class of objects. In the linguistic sense, it'd be upon a variety of a language. And according to Haugen's model laid out in Bell, standardization consists of 4 stages. The first one being the selection of a language or variety to be standard. This can be any variety, doesn't necessarily have any inherent qualities that make it better or worse to be a standard. It has to do more with a social aspect. Then the second step is the codification of the linguistic characteristics of the standard, or of the selected standard, I should say, which essentially means writing down everything about the language, grammar, phonology, stuff like that, making it look, in a way, I guess, neat, just organizing everything. Then elaboration, which is just promoting the standard across social functions, and then acceptance, which is the implementation and diffusion of the standard throughout society. And this can be seen in education frequently, or written media. If you think back to school and you would ask, can I use the bathroom? And then your teacher would correct you and say, I don't know, can you? Implying that you should use may I use the bathroom instead, because it's considered correct, and which we all know is there's not really a correct way of saying that. Like, both would be considered correct because both convey the meaning that you want to convey. All right, how does it negatively affect people? Commonly, the standard variety is typically associated with that of the highest level of prestige. So essentially, if you speak this variety, you are viewed more favorably compared to those who speak what one would consider a lesser variety. There's really there's nothing inherent about these varieties. It's purely based on social reasons or political reasons. And this can lead to prescriptivist ideologies, which negatively impact those who speak a variety that some would consider non-standard or ungrammatical. And we can see this frequently with AVE in schooling a lot. People frequently refer to it as slang because in many Native American English speakers, AAVE can appear as slang, or they consider slang to be something that's not standard or not grammatical, which is why they refer to it as such. Naturally, there's no inherent level of prestige that exists naturally in a variety. It's the speakers themselves who hold that prestige. Now, this means that people who have a large amount of power or wealth or status may try to implement their way of speaking as the correct variety, which is why we would see that, in the UK, received pronunciation is considered proper English because it's how the royals speak. Even though most people in the UK don't speak like that at all. It's just not how anyone speaks normally. Okay, now we're going to go over some positive effects of language standardization. Swahili is a good example of that because in Tanzania, Swahili was utilized as a tool for decolonization and unification of the people, um, trying to push out English as the de facto language in the nation, um, trying to reclaim that power. And with European colonizers implementing theirs as the prestigious language in multiple continents such as Africa, Asia, and the Americas, it's been vital that countries implement decolonizing language policies, um, try to reclaim that. And this, however, can lead to the indigenous standardized variety becoming the prestigious language, which then can cause less language diversity within the nation. And we can see this in Ghana, where Twi is an indigenous language, but it's becoming so widespread that it's kind of overtaking smaller language communities due to convenience, or it's mostly like convenience and just availability of it. Right, and here we've reached our discussion. Are there any other positive or negative effects of language standardization that you can think of? How has language standardization affected you personally? And can you think of any examples of disparities between colloquial varieties of a language and standardized varieties? And then we'll obviously go over this in class on Thursday.